Good morning, good morning, good morning. 3:16 a.m., baby. 3:16 a.m. You know how good that bed felt this morning, y'all? Oh, man, I'm not gonna lie. I fought it this morning. I felt so good. The pillow was feeling extra soft. The covers were extra warm. The dream was extra good. I wanted to stay asleep this morning. I wanted to do it. But then I had to ask myself, is getting up, is it worth saving a family out there? Is it worth bringing a mother or a father back to their children after they battle drug addiction? Is staying asleep worth allowing someone to slip? Is staying asleep, was it worth allowing someone to not develop the routines that they needed to develop to prevent relapse and drug use? Like, I had to ask myself, was waking up, was it worth the sacrifice? Was it worth giving my kids a clean father for another day, just for one more day, just for this day? I'm not thinking about yesterday. I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I had to ask myself, was getting up this morning, was it worth giving my kids a clean father for another day? Was it worth giving my wife a clean husband for another day? Was it worth saving someone out there who may be struggling with drug addiction? Was it worth possibly getting up this morning and sharing the word of God with someone and saving a soul this morning? Was it worth getting up this morning and helping elevate somebody to the next level? Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Was it worth it? And you know what? It was worth it. Sacrificing my sleep this morning, sacrificing my time this morning, sacrificing my humility this morning. It is worth saving a life. It is worth bringing somebody to the next level. It's worth giving my kids a clean father. It's worth giving my job the best version of me. I love my job right now, y'all. I love it. I'm the budget programming and personnel assistant, baby, at UCR. I'm grateful for that. I love it. I went to school and got my bachelor's degree in creative producing to learn how to put together entertainment, to learn how to creatively produce, and now I'm using that, baby, and they paying me good for it. I'm grateful. I didn't have this job 3 weeks ago. I got promoted. I'm grateful. So waking up this morning, so getting out the bed, sacrificing that good feeling pillow, sacrificing them extra warm covers, sacrificing that wonderful dream that I was dreaming in my mind. It was beautiful. It was worth it. It was worth it because I'm grateful for what God has given me. I'm grateful for the life God gave me this morning. So sacrificing my desires and my feelings was worth it this morning. And we all have those times where we get tired. We all have those times where we want to give up. But I have to ask you right now, I need to know, what is worth keep pursuing your big dream? What is worth it? What makes going after that big dream worth it? What makes sacrificing your sleep worth it? What makes disciplining yourself so that you're not indulging in drugs and alcohol every day worth it? What makes disciplining yourself and eating healthy and eating the right stuff? What makes disciplining yourself and getting out there and exercising your body and running those miles and hitting those weights, what makes it worth it? What makes it worth it? What makes enduring the pain that you gotta go through to be successful worth it? What makes enduring the pain so you can get physically fit worth it? What makes enduring the pain so that you can be the best worth it? What makes enduring the pain so that you can separate yourself from 99% of people that are just stuck in their ways and they will never grow? What makes it worth it? What makes cracking open a book and reading it and getting some new knowledge, what makes it worth it? What makes getting to know Jesus worth it? What makes changing the way that you think worth it? What makes changing the way that you talk worth it? What makes changing your ways? What makes it worth it? What makes it worth it? What makes pursuing the big dream worth it? What makes the sacrifice worth it? What makes enduring the pain worth it? What makes it worth it? What it makes it worth it? I know I keep on repeating myself, but repetition is the master of learning. Repetition is the master of reprogramming how we think. So I gotta know what makes it worth it. Because when you find out what makes this sacrifice worth it, I need you to write it down. I need you to write it down. I need you to hold at it, look at it. It may be your kids, but maybe it's not your kids. Maybe you had kids and you didn't change your way. Maybe it's not the life that God giving you this morning. Maybe that's not worth it because you woke up yesterday and you didn't do nothing different yesterday. You woke up the day before that. You didn't do nothing different the day before that. So what makes it worth it? Maybe it's not your job. Maybe your job don't make it worth it for you because maybe you're not really that grateful for your job. So I gotta find out what makes it worth it for you. What makes beating drug addiction worth it? What makes it worth it? What makes staying faithful to your wife or your husband worth it? What makes staying faithful to the Lord? What makes it worth it? Maybe it's not your soul. I don't know, but it should be your soul. What makes it worth it? Because whatever it is, you need to write it down. You need to look at it on a daily basis. Maybe you need to take a picture of it. You need to know what makes it worth it, because whatever makes it worth it to you, you need to keep it right there. You need to keep it right there, right in your mind's eye, baby. You need to keep what makes it worth it right in your mind's eye. So when you get those times, when you get tired, when you get those times when you want to give up, when you get those times when you feel yourself getting weak, you just grab onto what's worth it. Like it's a rope and just pull yourself up. You need to know what makes it worth it, because when you know what makes it worth it, you'll be able to just grab onto that vision that makes it worth it. And it'll pull you right out of that bed. It'll pull you right out of that slump. It'll pull you right out of your feelings. It'll pull you right out of them thoughts that you having. You gotta know, baby. You gotta know today what makes it worth it for you. What makes getting out of bed worth it with you? What makes getting out of bed with joy and purpose worth it? For me, what makes it worth it is knowing that I could help someone out of the situation that I was in. Knowing that I could help someone develop healthy routines that prevent drug use and prevent relapse makes it worth it. Knowing that I could save a knowing I could put a family back together if I get out of bed this morning. Knowing that I could put families who've been affected by drug use back together if I just get out of bed this morning. I know you may not see it, but I got the vision in my mind and I got the faith in my heart. And it makes it worth it. knowing that the research that I am doing as I'm pursuing my master's, the research that I am doing to reduce the recidivism of black males in gangs through access to higher education, that makes it worth it. That makes getting up in the morning worth it. Knowing that I could potentially solve the issue of black men waking up and killing each other on a daily basis, knowing that maybe I could help solve the problem of gang violence makes it worth it, knowing that maybe I could potentially stop a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a cousin, a grandmother, a grandfather, a family member from attending another young black man's funeral because of violence, because of gang violence, knowing that I could possibly do that, knowing that I could make it so me or none of my homies ever have to cry again because one of our friends were killed. That makes it worth it. That makes it worth it. And it makes me excited and happy to jump out of this bed. It makes that sacrifice, it makes sacrificing that sleep worth it. I know it's a big dream. I know some people are saying, what? You think you're about to save families? You think you're about to stop people from doing drugs and alcohol? Who you think you are? Jesus? No, I don't think I'm Jesus, but I know I'm connected to him. I know I'm connected to his power. I know you probably saying, man, folk is going to do what they want to do. They don't care about what you saying. Folk is going to do what they want to do. They don't care about what you saying. I know you probably saying, you think you going to help mitigate gang violence, K? You think you got the answers. I know you probably saying that, and you probably not. But I know it's a big dream. I know it's a big dream that maybe one day I could win the Nobel Peace Prize. I could win the Nobel Peace Prize for discovering how to bring peace to black communities that are hurting, to Latin communities that are hurting because of gang violence. I know it's a big dream. But you know what? That big dream makes it worth it for me to get up out of that bed. That big dream makes it worth it to sacrifice that sleep. I had my daughter sleeping right next to me. My son sleeping on the other side of my wife. It was beautiful. It's a cold morning. So you know that bed feel good with all them bodies in there. Right? But I sacrificed that comfortableness. I sacrificed that comfort because this big dream is worth it. This big dream of saving and uplifting and bringing peace to people is worth it. It's worth it. Enduring the pain I'm about to go through when I get to the gym and I do these pull-ups with bro because he like to hit arms every day. I know y'all see his arms. His arms is about the size of two arms put together. His arms is about the size of torsos. You dig? I know we gonna do arms today and tomorrow and the day after. I know it's gonna hurt. You dig? But enduring that pain is worth it. Because when I pull up on them in the drug rehabs and I show them like, yeah, I used to do drugs, but look at these arms though. And they like, what? I could be like that. Because when I did drugs before, I lost so much weight to where I was 150 pounds, you did? And I had to get that back, but I had to put in work. So I'm gonna show someone else that, man, drugs may have affected you physically, but you got some get back, baby. Look at these arms. Yeah, you got some get back, baby. So it's worth it enduring the pain I'm about to go through when I get to the gym. This big dream makes it worth it. Pursuing this big dream makes it worth it. This sacrifice is worth it because of what I can do for others. So let me ask you today, what makes it worth it for you? What makes it worth it for you to be disciplined? What makes it worth it for you to sacrifice? What makes it worth it for you to pursue that big dream? What makes it worth it for you to endure the pain? You gotta know what makes it worth it, baby. BTB up in this thing. You know what's up. Let's get it.